performance under harsh environments, performance in with high voltage. When these kind of applications are there we use the heavy duty connectors. Learning objectives remains the same. We need to identify the target markets, applications for heavy duty connectors, know the heavy duty connectors advantages, the features, where do we find the general performance information for the heavy duty connectors, or these can also be known as HDC, and resources for heavy duty connectors. Let us go into a bit of history. We do have over 60 years of innovation with heavy duty connectors. The HDC brands are HTS and CBUS. These were previously known as the the heavy duty connectors. The brands for the heavy duty connectors were CBUS and HTS, and now they have been combined under T connectivity. We bought them and now it is all under TE. One company, one brand. So this was acquired by TE in the year 2014, and it was first established in Shanghai, China. So that is a bit of history on the heavy duty connectors. Power, signal and data. These are the main features of the heavy duty connectors. What are the target markets that it can be used? The HDC connectors. So we did see some windmills there, wherein it showed us that the HDC connectors were used in the windmills. If you see the transport, yes, because it is harsh environment. Why are these HDC connectors used? Why it is very futuristic, or why it is very easy to use in the the harsh environments is that it enables the modular machine designs, and the best part about the HDC connectors is that it is plug and play. So what do we mean by the term plug and play? Whenever you see the word plug and play, that means that it reduces the installation time. Now, to reduce the risk of failures during installation on site, when you're trying to install an equipment in the field, there might be some possibilities that you might face failure, or you would face failure during installation. Because of this plug and play, it also reduces the risk of failures during installation on site. What would be the third advantage? Okay, so we have the device, plug it, you can just go ahead and play. Since it is plug and play, we omit the risk of failure during installation of that machine. Now third, easy replacement of defective parts. Because when you have a component, or when you have a part that is having a lengthier installation process, then it becomes difficult to replace it as well. Because every time you need to replace it, you need to deinstall and then again reinstall. That takes a lot of time. But since this is plug and play, it is easier to replace the defective parts. Now for the HDC products, they have been adopted by a wide range of industries. We see the wind energy, robotics, construction machinery, material handling equipment, printing, and railway and automation industries as well. So just to give a little bit more into wind energy and how the HDC connectors are used in the wind energy, what it does is it has sensors that measure changes in velocity or speed. It detects vibration and monitors it, and it also measures temperature. So this is how HDC connectors are used in wind energy. They are also used as brakes or in the wind energy. So these are the two ways in how HDC connectors or heavy duty connectors are used in the wind energy. Now for the machinery applications, or the construction machinery, if you see, we do have the control panels that uses the HDC, and the material handling equipment that uses the heavy duty connector. Now for industrial applications is nothing but, if I can give you an example where HDC are used. Have you guys ever seen a car being manufactured? It's in a line, and you have the robotic arms that measures if there is any flaw. There are robotic arms which paints the car. There are robotic arms using which the engine is actually lowered into the bonnet, into the hood. So In those kind of robotic arms, you would get HDC or heavy duty connectors. That is in the industrial applications and also in the control panels. For railway, it is used in signaling, door control, traction system, then the passenger information and entertainment system. So for these kind of applications in the railway industry, we use the heavy duty connectors. So we know that some cable transfer or some connectors transfer power, some connectors transfer power and signal, but the advantage of HDC is it can transfer power, signal and data. Now next, we're going to talk about some of the more applications. If you see here, it is used in concert venue. Now concert venue is nothing but, when you have the power and the signal and data, it's used in the concert venue. The connectors, they are used for transferring of power, transferring of data like music and signal as well. Now if you see, it is also used in the BT Tower London, then the train, the applied materials, in the Abbott labs and in the Samsung as well. This is kind of like a die casting. Then it is used in the medical industry, wherein it is known as the CT scanner and the Hershey Park. So then we have the injection molding and the Solgar industries. This is where they all use the HDC connectors. Features and benefits. We have the wide product portfolio for HDC. Then it covers a wide range of application. Now modularity allows customized interface. Now what do you mean by modularity? Modularity is the degree to which a system's components may be separated or recombined. That is the definition of modularity. Design according to standards VDE 0110, EN 61984. These are all the quality and UL approved. Now we know what is UL approved. Underwriters Laboratory. Where do you find UL? Inside the product specification that mentioned UL approved. So we studied about UL ratings or UL certifications when we were going through flammability rating. Flammable particles extinguish themselves in 25 seconds, 20 seconds. Now, next, we're going to dissect the HDC and find out what it is. We have the HDC consists of three key elements. We have the inserts. It can be the male or the female inserts, the contact and the hoods and the housings. So see here, we have the hoods. If you see on the left diagram, we have the hoods, which is on the second one, the male contacts, and we do also have the inserts, the female inserts, contacts, male contacts and female contacts, and the hoods and the housings. These are the three key elements of the HDC products. Now, the inserts and the contacts. So if you see here, the inserts, the male inserts or the female inserts, and the male contacts or the female contacts, they are modular and assembled together. So the contacts and inserts are assembled together so that they can provide electrical performance. What is the advantage of a hood or a housing? So what it does is it protects the connector inserts from dust or water. Remember, it is HDC. The name says it all, heavy duty or harsh environments. It might be in constant touch with the dust or water. For example, if this is used in a railway system or a railway engine or a locomotive, it will be in constant touch with dirt, right? What would happen if dirt goes and settles around in the inserts? It will not work properly. That is why it acts as a protective covering. Then we have the cable glands, we have the housings again to stabilize the connection. And next we are going to go about the technical characteristics. We can have up to 216 pins in one connector. If you see this image of a monoblock, if you see that green with the pins inside it, those are known as pins. The current rating up to 420 amps. The voltage rating up to 3 kV. monoblock combined and modular inserts. The termination technology would be crimp, screw crimp, cage clamp termination technology. Now if we go to the hoods and the housings, we have the ingress protection degrees of IP20, IP65, IP68 and IP69. Whenever you hear the term IP, you should know that okay, this is ingress protection degrees, which is nothing but how sealed is that connector is. How much can it withstand the roughness. For the hoods and housings, we have corrosion resistant variants. What do you mean by corrosion? Rust. The corrosion resistant variants, hard coating materials. Then we have the impact resistant. So that is done by the powder coating. Then locking systems for vibration and shock. And these are qualified according to the IRIS certification, CULUS, CULUS and TUV. Okay, a TUV certification means a sampling of the product has been tested for safety and found to meet the minimum requirements of the German Equipment and Product Safety Act. So TUV is nothing but Germany, and then we have the UL, Underwriters Laboratories, that's a world leader in product safety. Now CSA, we do have CSA. CSA is nothing but Canadian Standards Organization. They develop standards in 57 areas, and safety and performance standards are one of them. So these are also CSA, TUV, IRIS approved. We did talk about IP. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about IP. IP6K7. So IP6K7, ingress protected against powerfully jetting water with increased pressure and protected against the temporary effects of immersion up to 1 meter. So the key factor here is that it can absorb the effects of immersion up to 1 meter. So you can actually function 1 meter underwater. Now IP6K9K starts with, again, protected against powerfully jetting water with increased pressure and protected against high pressure steam jet cleaning. So if you see the IP67 and the IP6K9K, it says that it is ingress protected against powerfully jetting water. Now why do you think is this sentence there in IP6K7 and it's there in IP6K9K? Why do you think this is there? What do we mean by this sentence of ingress protected against powerfully jetting water? If this connector is used in automotive industry and they go to car wash, the car wash would have a jetting water system, right? Wherein the water comes out with a force. Now, if that is not protected, or if that is not protected like IP6K7 or IP6K9K, the connector might come off. So we do not want to be that. We do not want to be doing that, right? We do not want it to be disengaged by accident. That is why we do have this IP ratings of IP6K7, the sealing variant, wherein it can withstand jetting water and it can also withstand immersion up to 1 meter. Now for the IP6K9K, it is protected against high pressure steam jet cleaning. So again, coming back to automobile industry, when you have to clean a large automobiles, then these connectors are very useful in protecting them. Now IP2XB, or 2 into B or 2XB. So what does that mean? It's a touch safe, ingress protected against solid objects greater than 12.5 mm. So if a connector is IP2XB, then it gets protected from solid objects which are greater than 12.5 millimeter. Now next we're going to talk about the hoods and the housings and the key features. The protection degrees, we have the IP65, IP68. I do not have a diagram of IP69K here. IP65, 67, 68 and 69K. They are standard pressure tight, EMC and corrosion resistant variants. They're all corrosion resistant variants, so they'll not get rusted so easily and they'll not get rusted. Then anti-corrosion series with excellent protection against corrosion and environmental influences due to oxidation, hard coating. So sometimes what happens is due to exposure to harsh environments, the metals start getting oxidized and start getting corroded. So which would not be the case in this hoods and housings because it has an anodic oxidation layer, hard coating. It has been tested for greater than 500 hours of salt spray test resistant, greater than 1000 hours of salt spray test resistant again, and they are in the high and the construction version. We do have various constructions. These are some of the features. Now if you see this diagram on this slide, you see that there are some circles made on the parts, nothing but using the locking mechanisms. Why it is used? Because it is very easy to mate and unmate. So if you see the locking clips, it's kind of like a clip that latches on, and if you want to disengage, pull it with a little bit of force, slide down the clip, and then it will get unmade or it will get separated. Now for the screw one, it's self-explanatory. You have the screw on that picture, and then you screw it to kind of like have a mate, and then unscrew it to disengage it. Now we have the side clips. Again, produces a sound wherein it denotes that all the connection is, the inserts are properly secured. Now again, from the side clips we have the center locking system. So if you see here the circle, this is kind of like a spring, so you just have to firmly press it, or you can just widely open up that spring and then just press it so that it creates an audible sound and it is connected. It has a good connection. Okay, now again we're going to talk about the hood and housing styles, a little bit different. So what do you mean by a cable entry? Cable entry is nothing but wire coming in. So the housing, we have the bottom entry, the side entry, then the cable to cable hood. The wire comes in from here. This is also the side entry. We have the bottom entry housing. So these are different kind of hoods and housing styles that we have. Now to some of the features. For standard power signal, the current is up to 35 amps. Voltage, just see 830 volts. So these are really heavy duty, 830 volts. So it can be split into two groups: signal, which is from 10 amp to 16 amp, and power from 16 amp to 35 amp. It can be either power or signal. That is the key features, the insert key features for standard. Now if you see power and signal mix, so in the first one you can only transmit power or only transmit signal. In the second one you can do both, one insert for signal and power contacts. But just see the current, it goes up to 100 ampere. The current goes, it can sustain up to 100 ampere, and the voltage up to 690 volts. That is the key features of power and signal mix. And then for the modular, they have the highly flexible combination of different technologies within one connector, interchangeable between leading brands. The current is up to 200 amperes, that's a max, and the voltage is up to 1000 voltage. Inserts and hoods, we do have the H16B size 6. Again, so these are the inserts that go into that hood. Now we see the different type of crimping. We have the crimp contacts, the screw contacts, and the clamp contacts. Crimp contacts have highest contact density. We do require special tools to crimp, vibration proof, gas tight termination, and then suitable for termination with crimping machines. These are some of the advantages of crimp contacts. Now for the screw contacts, there's no special tools necessary. Now in clamp contacts, also there are no special tools necessary, and it is vibration proof. So these are all different types of crimping that we use. Alright, now let's take a look at the advantages of the crimp contacts. We have the vibration proof, high density, maintenance free and flexible contact design. The disadvantages are you need a special tool and limited wire size. These are the advantages and the disadvantages of crimp contacts. Screw contacts. Large wiring range, toolless termination, well-known technology, retightening of screws, that's for the disadvantage. Price, less flexibility, mixing gold and silver plated contacts. It's very time consuming and limited vibration resistance. We do have vibration resistance, but not to the max. It has only limited vibration resistance. Now we go to the spring contacts. Large wire size range, toolless termination, the screwdriver only, but yeah, it should not be toolless, but we can, we should use only the screwdriver. Faster termination, screwdriver remains in insert while terminating, maintenance free, vibration proof. These are the advantages of spring contacts. Now the disadvantages: less flexibility, mixing gold and silver plated contacts, limited contact density. These are the disadvantages of spring contacts. So with that, we come to an end of the heavy duty connectors.